Have a quick one. Just moving my fam, so it tastes like Dr. Pepper. But so I want to get a quick one in since it's late. But UFC on ESPN 36 is coming up. Han Blachowicz versus Alexander Rakic in Las Vegas, Nevada. Blachowicz is coming off his title loss. He won his title against Dominic Reyes back in 2020. Then he beat Israel Adesanya following that. Adesanya trying to become double champion. And then following that, he lost to Glover Teixeira. Black belt in jiu-jitsu, power puncher, great kicks. He's going up against Alexander Rakic, who will have a 3-inch height advantage over Blachowicz, but he's the same exact reach. Rakic is a kickboxing style of fighter, which plays directly into what Blachowicz wants to do. I think if the fight goes to the ground, it's obviously all Blachowicz. Alexander Rakic, though, is 6-1 in the UFC, with his only loss being a split decision to Volkan Oezdemir. He's beat Thiago Santos, Anthony Smith, and Jimmy Manuwa, his 3 biggest wins. 9 out of 14 of his wins via knockout, and he has never been knocked out in his professional career. Meaning, Blachowicz, yes, he has very, very heavy hands. He's got good leg kicks. I don't think he's going to be able to finish Rakic. I think his best bet is going to be able to take him down, weigh him down with heavy, because, Han Blachowicz is a really, really thick, strong guy. So if he can wear Rakic down early in the fight, get him tired, 3rd, 4th, 5th round, he'll be able to put on some damage and maybe get a finish. But big key there is getting a win over a guy like Alexander Rakic at this point in your career. So I'm going to go Han Blachowicz. I think he's got more paths to victory. Just being said that he's going to be able to grapple a little bit better than Rakic, and that's going to be what – hold on really quick. What's up, babe? Huh? You called me in the middle of recording. What's going on? Recording. I'm home. I'm in the backyard recording. I'll be back. Little sleepyheads in there waking up. But, yeah, I got Blachowicz in a main event. I don't even know where I was at, but Blachowicz probably be a decision. If not, hands Alexander Rakic his first TKO loss later in the 4th, 5th round. Ryan Spann, Ion Cutelaba. I think it's a pretty interesting one in that division. Spann 1-2 in his last 3. Cutelaba 1-2-1 in his last 4. Cutelaba not looking good in his last couple fights. He did get a win, I believe, in his most recent fight. In the front. Why is there an alarm in the front? He did get a win in his most recent fight, but he lights on in the front. Huh. Anyway, it's weird. Ryan Spann's coming into this fight 4-inch height advantage, 5.5-inch reach advantage over Ion Cutelaba. Cutelaba 12 wins by knockout. Ryan Spann double-digit wins by submission. Both guys. I think the where this fight's going to come down to is how good is Ryan Spann striking going to be that night, and how good is Ion Cutelaba's wrestling going to be that night. Ion Cutelaba is a former Combat Sambo champion. So with that being said, I think his grappling is probably going to be able to, if not be better than Ryan Spann, he'll be able to neutralize him, and he'll be able to make sure that Ryan Spann doesn't dominate on the ground. Now, as far as standing up, Ion Cutelaba, he is the better striker, I would say, as far as technicality and power striking. But, he struggled with a guy like Magomed Ankalaev, who's a little bit longer than him. And in the first fight, yeah, he was kind of like rope-a-doping, but he got knocked clean out in the second fight. So he was getting tagged in the first fight, although he likes to blame a lot of that on the fact that he was kind of playing the part, and he was kind of faking injuries and this and that, or faking being hurt. He still got caught a bunch of times in that fight pretty clean. And if you can get caught by a guy like Magomed Ankalaev, who has he's a lot closer to you in size, with a guy that's 4 inches taller and 5.5 inches longer than you, I'd say that's a pretty tough task for you and Kuthalaba. So, with that being said, I got to go Ryan Spann, most likely via TKO, because I don't think the fight goes to the ground here. And I think if it does go to the ground, it plays a little bit more into Ryan Spann's wheelhouse, because, yes, Kuthalaba has that combat sambo background, but Ryan Spann being the longer guy, he's able to use jiu-jitsu better. So we'll see. I think Ryan Spann's pretty much all the way around going to be able to have his way in this fight. But, Kutalaba's a wild guy, and he's got power, so anything could happen. If I'm going to put my prediction down right now, I'm going to go Ryan Spann. I didn't do any more predictions because, like I said, it was going to be a quick video, 10 minutes max. But this card, it's a little iffy, man. I want to look ahead into next week just to make sure they're not dudding you 2 weeks in a row, which they are. But let's just round out this fight card right here. Davey Grant versus Louis Smoke, also on the main card. Caitlin Chikadian versus Amanda Ribas. That's going to be a big one, a possible number one contender fight there. Frank Camacho versus Manuel Torres, the UFC veteran versus the UFC newcomer. Jake Hadley and Alan Nascimento, both UFC newcomers that'll round out the main card. I think that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fights on the main card, most likely. Possibly 5. Maybe they put Hadley and Nascimento on the prelims. Viviana Joro and Andrea Lee will headline the prelims as of right now. Michael Johnson will be fighting Alan Patrick. That's a really good fight with 2 UFC veterans. Virana Joindobia versus Angela Hill. Angela Hill, the queen of the split decisions, is back. Titioro Tiara versus Carlos Candirio was supposed to happen last weekend, but it's happening this weekend. I don't know what happened. Sickness or something happened last weekend. That fight didn't go. And then Nick Maximov versus Andrei Petroski, which everybody knows Nick Maximov for training with Nick Diaz and Nate Diaz. So they will be in attendance, most likely cornering him, or at least Nate will. I don't know about Nick. Nick doesn't really corner too much, but Nate will be. And then we'll go into the following weekend, May 21st, which is headlined by Holly Holm and Keatlin Vieira. Nothing to see there. I really can't stand when they make fights like that in the main event, because it's like, there is, and I'm not saying any of these other fights on this card I'd rather see as a main event, but I'm saying that, they take pay-per-views and they put 12 fights on it that could main event a fight night. But they just want to beef up the prelims that much. It's like, dude, no, take some of those really good fights and make them main events on the prelims. But I mean, not main events on the prelims, main events in the on the fight nights. Holly Holm, Keatlin Vieira, Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Michel Pereira. I think that's my favorite fight outside of the main event. Eric Anders versus Park Jun Young. Let's see what other good fights are here. Chase Hooper makes his return against Felipe Corrales. Omar Morales versus Euros Medic. Jailton Almeida comes back for his second fight versus Parker Porter. That should be a good test for him. Parker Porter actually has a few fights in the UFC already. Is that it? And they got not many fights already booked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They got a couple fights booked already, but we'll see if they add more. We'll see if there's any changes. Until next Tuesday, stay barbecued. I'm going to keep it zipped. You guys know what it is. Holla at me next Tuesday.